Today, I'm going to show you how to make 50 coloring book pages in only 5 minutes. Let's get started. So my goal here is to bulk create these coloring pages. If you've seen my latest videos, I really talk about how to create great quality coloring books, and that does not need to be sacrificed here. I'm just trying to make it a little bit faster. I'm going to show you all of the tools that I used in order to find the best, or for me, the one that was going to create the most items at the same time with the least amount of work and keeping the quality. So let's see what I can do. Here, this is my first, these are the prompts that I had Gemini create for me. I go back and forth between ChatGPT and Gemini. It really is up to you. So I copied the kitten prompt and I started first in Canva. I've had some success with Canva lately. I used their magic media. I typed right here the prompt and it created the kitten. And there are lots of items here, lots of options. It really turned out okay. It's cute, it's simple, but I have to do each one by one. It doesn't let me create bulk. I researched and tried to find if there was a bulk creator, but not for images. I'll keep looking though. If there is, let me know. If I missed it, let me know. I Googled coloring book AI multi-image generator. And this is what I found. I entered the same prompt. I did like on this one, I don't subscribe to them. It's coloringbook.ai. I did the same prompt. It did let me create a couple of images. I like that it let me choose between teenager, children, and toddler. And you can see here kind of the difference. This right here is the toddler. This is the children, right? And then I think this one was the teenager. So just a little bit more detail. Again, it's fine, but I just don't feel like it gave me the variety that I wanted and the quality, and I didn't want to have to subscribe to another platform. So I jumped on over here to Kiddle, and it definitely created a really cute image. Again, same prompt right here. I chose their coloring book option, and this is what it created. Very cute. But again, I have to do it one by one. So this would be an option, but I am in a rush this time. I don't want to spend an hour and a half or 2 hours creating images. So I ended up back in Gemini, and I asked it, can you create multiple images for me? And it said, yes, it can do up to 5 images at a time. Perfect. So I'm going to zoom out here a little bit. This is the cat it created, and then the dog it created. And I thought, you know what? It's just as good as those others. If anything, cuter, and it can do multiple. So I went ahead and did Gemini, but I did do the Nano Banana. I noticed, if you go to some other platforms like the Coloring Book AI, I think it had that one, or Design and some others, they're using Nano Banana. So why not just come here directly to Gemini to use the Nano Banana here in Gemini when I'm already subscribing to the pro version of Gemini? So I had it create the cat, the dog, the rabbit. I decided to do farm animals this time, baby farm animals and other farm animals. And it made them all. Look how great these look. That's adorable. And it made 5 all in one time. So I went ahead. I said, those are great. And I said, go ahead and do 5 more. And it did 5 more. So I thought, okay, we're hot now. It's looking good. And it started to repeat some of the characters. And I thought, well, I guess we are limited on farm animals. So I said, it's totally fine to give me non-baby farm animals, and possibly some farm animals that are more country animals like the llama. And then I just kept on going. And so I got the mouse. I asked it to keep generating more prompts. We got an owl. Then I said, okay, we're getting some of the same images here. Let's go ahead. I said, include multiple animals in one image. So it gave me the mother calf, type of image. I got a little greedy and I said, do 10 images. Not only could it not do 10 images, it paused and it would only do 1 after this. It's like I confused it. It was too much. So I had a prompt, 10 prompts I put in here, and it was only doing 1 at a time. So I said, and the next one, and the next one. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to keep doing this. I'm not going to keep clicking the next one. So all I did was I went to a new chat. So I came over here and I just started a new chat and I said, give me the 5 coloring pages. Let's do a variety of animals. And that's what it did. I think it turned out great. And it went back to generating that 5. So that's my tip. Don't get greedy. Don't try to do 10 all in one. We're doing 5 at a time. Fabulous. And I had it generate its own prompts. Before I was going back and forth between ChatGPT and then Canva and, doing a variety of things. I said, create the prompts, then create the images. And all of this was created in less than 5 minutes. It ended up being super easy and I got it all done. So that is your 5-minute generator. Use your Nano Banana, go to Gemini, have it create the prompt for you and the images. You will get it all done in one spot. Let's go ahead and let me show you how I then put them all into a book, and I'm going to format the book and upload it. So here in Canva, I have my template. It is 102 pages. These are 8.5 by 11. And because I know I want the front page, number 1 is the cover page, number 2 is the back side, and number 3 is the first page of the first image. Nothing on the back of page 3, so that's page 4. Next picture is on page 5. So that is all of the images on the odd pages. And this is my template. Whenever I want to do a new book, I just copy this template. So I copied the template. But if you'll notice, all of the images were coming up closer to being square. I could have kept it at 8.5 by 11 and done the name at the top. But some of the images have multiple animals in them. So it wasn't really going to work with the name, putting a name at the top. So instead, I decided to resize these. I went to resize, custom size, and I did the 8.25 by 8.25. It resized all of them. So I went ahead and I uploaded all of the images. And if you'll notice, they were coming in as a square image. So it just made sense for me to keep it a square. Let's talk about the quality here. This image is going to be 8.25 by 8.25 in a kid's book. So the realistic images, you're looking probably about that size. And in fact, I can come here and make this exactly 100%. There you go. This is the size of the book. And it looks like a good quality. It's not pixelated. There's no grayscale. It's actually a pretty good quality. Look what happens when I zoom in. So I'm zooming in this tight. That's pretty pixelated, but the book isn't going to be zoomed in this tight. The book is not going to be this close up. No one's going to look at this image this close up. The actual size of the book is going to be that size, and that is a perfectly fine image. Now, what are we going to do for our cover and our inside front cover? First of all, I'm going to call this Farm Animals Coloring Book. Let's go ahead and come here to text. Let's change this to gray, because we're doing this black and white. So farm animals, and I want coloring book. We need an animal in there. Okay, now let's make our cover. I'm going to come here to my KDP cover calculator. This is free to use, and it is going to be paperback, black and white paper on the inside. It reads left to right. I put it in inches, 8.25 by 8.25. It has 102 pages, and calculate. Then download the template. Okay, here is the template. It downloaded as a PDF and a PNG. So the actual size of this cover needs to be 16.9 by 8.5. Okay, I'm just going to come here to Canva, create new. Now, the reason why this isn't exactly 8.25 is because that cover is allowing for a bleed. And that means that the image can go all the way to the edge and beyond just a little bit. That is because when the cutter comes down to cut the book and it slices on the edge, it needs to cut off a little bit of the image so that it doesn't look like, so you don't end up with a little white like frame around the edge. Here's my example. I always print a couple examples of my book to make sure the quality. So for example, right here on the cover, you can see this yellow goes all the way past the edge and the lines go all the way past the edge. And that means that the picture I put went a little bit past the edge. So when the slicer came down to cut the book, it cut off a little bit of the picture and then the picture bleeds off on the edge. I know sometimes bleeds can be a little confusing. But here we go. And create the design. And we're going to upload that image. let's look for a farm animal landscape. A farm landscape. That's really cute. Like that. Simple, bold. I am going to bring this to the top, lower the transparency so I can see what I'm putting on the front and make sure it stays within these guidelines. And then I can just delete this later. Okay, now I have actually the text that I created for the inside front page. I want this. Let's get some animals in there, and we can fix those colors. Let's see what that looks like with the title and everything corrected. I think it's looking pretty good. Now the question is here on the front, do I add more details that say like 50-page coloring book for kids? I think so. I think I have enough space in that white box to do that. Okay, we're going to download this as a PDF. I'm going to go PDF print for a really great high quality book. We're going to change this for professional printing. And for our farm animals, I'm going to go ahead and download. For this one, I'm going to do a standard PDF because, again, they're on the inside. It's only black and white. It's not large. I don't have to worry about a really high quality on this one. It's totally fine for this project. And download. Now let's go ahead and go on to KDP, create new paperback. And I'm going to go back to Gemini and have Gemini generate all of this for me. Here it did it. I told it to consider keyword phrasing for KDP, and it created everything for me. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. So for this one, it didn't quite understand that I can't have such a long title, but I did keep the farm animals, and then I'm going to go ahead and keep this long subtitle. I feel like it has some great keywords, and it's very relevant. Now I'm doing a couple of categories here within the children's books because I do want one that's detailed. And then I also want one that kind of stays in that general range so that I capture both people who are searching for this type of book. And you get 3 options, so why not use all of them? Here it gave me a few too many keyword phrases. I only need 7. I had it identify the top 7 keyword phrases and entered them here. Assign an ISBN. Black and white paper. Let's change the size. Okay, no bleed, just the cover has a bleed. And let's make it glossy to really make that cover pop. We've uploaded the manuscript. Now we come here to, yes, there are AI generated images. And let's see what it looks like. Okay, I've got an error code here on 3 pages. Let's see what it looks like. 47, 49. So let me show you what's happened. I'm going to go ahead and come here to page 47 in my Canva. Okay, this is the llamas. Look what happened here. This particular image, there's nothing around here. There's no image that comes to the edge. And what happens is when something comes to the very edge, KDP thinks that there's a picture, even though it's white. It thinks there's a picture, and so it says you can't have it all the way to the very edge. So I did a background remover on this. I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller just to ensure it's inside of those edges, or you know what? This is what I'm going to do because I want it to be big. Let's crop it. Okay, next one is the cow and the puppy. Okay, and that fixed it. So if you ever get those error codes, don't let it freak you out. It's just telling you to go back and fix something, and I always do. You have to if you want to be able to move on with that quality check. So definitely the preview is not something to skip. Let's see how this goes. Looks good. And approve. Now let's see how much this book is going to cost. I'm going to price this book here at $7.95. And when I see other books in this particular genre, they're around this price. They're going to be between $6 and $8 or $9. If I go $8 or $9 because I want to make a couple more dollars, I'm going to price myself out of this particular market. And so $1.14 on each one works great. If it's under $9.99, then I only get 60% royalties, but I'd rather get something than price myself out and nobody buy it because it's too overpriced. So I feel like $7.95 is an appropriate ask for this particular book. And then publish and finish the paperback. Let me know if you have any questions.